Hot.
What's up?
We live.
What's up, guys? John here with Sharisse's Healthy Lifestyle Soapbox.
What's up, guys?
So, what's going on? Chris Gaines is in the house. What's up, dude?
What
not even
up,
on here
Gaines?
anymore. What's
The
going
Gaines
on, brother?
trains.
Yo, Honda Trotta, 82 J-Fit, Simmons Strength, Alleyway June, CC
Doretha.
Diver.
I know
How you
these
guys
names.
doing?
I know these names.
All right, so guys, we are here with Sharisse, and Sharisse is going to take it over this day of every week to talk about some of the things that are going on, maybe here in the business, in the life, in public in general, and talk about some of the therapies, and specifically maybe some of the female questions out there. Because you guys get us guys most of the time in the week. Not saying we don't know all about you females and how
You
we
guys
can help
don't know
you
anything,
guys.
yeah.
But better to take it from a woman, a true woman. So that's why we got Sharisse on here.
I know, Doretha. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
whatever
yes.
this is
Good
called.
afternoon. Via Facebook Live, Instagram Live.
Oh, wow.
Jack Cookie Monster, what's going on? Strike Gold Shave, how you doing? So let's get into the first subject. You know what Sharisse, what we're going to cover today, and basically that's estrogens, right?
Yep. So I can
And
give you guys the rundown.
Males and females both have estrogens and
They
need
both-
different estrogens at different
Oh my
levels in the
God.
body
With
for
Big John
hormone
in the
balance
background.
or optimization. Okay, so when females are all bloated and they're going through that time of the month and everything like that, and they start yelling or start getting upset or irritable,
Oh my God.
okay,
Put it up.
all right, that's my face. Like, what can I do to help me?
Oh my goodness.
What can I do? I have no idea.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so females and males. So obviously males, we want to make sure that our
We're not going to
estrogen-
talk about males today.
Okay, let's talk
You're
about
going to
females.
save males for another day.
Okay.
We're going to talk about females today. Okay.
All right.
So, okay, a little bit about my history, just to rewind it a little bit, because I've been through a lot. So my history, my medical history, I have endometriosis. I was diagnosed at 16. And I also have PCOS and a bunch of other things that go with it, like interstitial cystitis and IBS and all these fun things. They come in like a nice little package for you, like a little present, and
Okay.
then they all come together, right?
Right.
So at 16, right, everybody thought I was crazy. Now, all of a sudden, now like endometriosis is like it's very well known,
Yes. It's known
like
everywhere.
that it's very well known that it exists, right?
Right.
Because back in the day, it was just okay. Well, you just have really bad cramps. Deal with it. You're being a baby,
Right.
right? But now it's like it's actually like a thing, right? So when I was 16, they went ahead and they put me on all these different things. It still wasn't working. Birth controls weren't working. I was skipping, the last week. That wasn't working. So moving forward, they did the depot. I've done everything. Depot, Lupron. I mean, you name it, and I've done it, right? So they go in, they scope me, and they do the laparoscopy. They go in and they cut. There's two tiny little cuts. They go in,
Yep.
and then they go and they scope everything, right? And they go in there with a little camera. Now, truth be told, right? And I didn't know this until after like my 4th surgery, right? That when they go in to do the lap, they can only actually see 10 to 15% of the scar tissue. So what endometriosis is basically when scar tissue, instead of growing on the inside of your ovaries and fallopian tubes or whatever, and then shedding out like it should when you get your menstrual cycle, it's growing on the outside of your ovaries and fallopian tubes, right? And what happens is it's almost like gum, right? So it sticks everything together so that it's not quite working well, hence the reason why people that have endometriosis usually have fertility issues. But it sticks everything together, and it's very, very painful.
It reminds me of like the Venom symbiote.
Oh
You know how it's like all that sticky stuff and like it sticks together. That's kind of what I get in my mind as a visualization.
Yeah, no, and it hasn't been a fun experience for me because, at 16, I think I had my first surgery when I was 17 years old. So my senior year, I missed half my senior year just because of endometriosis, right? So, moving on, I had the next surgery, and I think after my 3rd surgery is when we decided, okay, so this 3rd surgery, after this 3rd surgery, and we clean everything out again, because it would just keep going back, and this was like way before Titan ever existed, and I'm just like, does anybody know like why it just keeps growing back? Am I just like I just got bad luck? It keeps growing back, and it's just with the fire. But come to find out, it's actually like an estrogen fueled thing. They go in there. When they go in there, they have to take biopsies of everything to make sure that you don't have anything cancerous going on. I mean, they should be doing that when they go in there regardless.
Right.
But they went in there, and when I got all the reports finally, when we opened the clinic, because now I started getting a little bit more well versed on hormones, what they do, and I'm starting to connect it with what's going on with me, right? So, we go back through the reports, and the tissue that they pulled was estrogen 2 receptor positive, right? So it's like, okay, well, all this tissue and all this stuff is going on because it's fueled by estrogen. Hence the reason the high estrogen. Now, high estrogen can make you feel like you're literally bipolar, right? Like you're crazy and you're just losing your mind, okay? It can make you feel moody. It can make you want to cry because your sock doesn't fit right. I swear, I think I did that like 5 or 6 times. I put on my sock and I'm like, it doesn't fit. And then he's looking at me like, do you have a problem? I'm like, oh. I was like, throw it, right? And he'd be like, okay, so I don't know what your problem is, but obviously you have an issue. Make you think like you're literally like crazy. And then obviously outside of like the water retention, the mood swings, hot flashes, night sweats, you don't feel good, right? And then obviously you hold this midsection fat. This midsection fat I was never able to get rid of, right? Didn't matter. I mean, I didn't work out, let's be real, right? But either way you look at it, I still had good genes, right? I mean, so I shouldn't have been fat in my midsection. And I mean, if I showed you my before and after pictures, you'd be like, what in the heck is going on here, right? So anyways, it's important to check all your hormones, obviously. If you're out there, I mean, there's a lot of girls out there and they think they have endometriosis because of their bad cramps. I tell you, when you have endo, those cramps will put you in bed where you can't even get out of bed. I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed. And like, obviously you get nauseous, you get sick. When you have high estrogen, it makes you feel nauseous. It makes you feel not
headaches.
Good. Headaches. Yep. You can
water retention, which can raise
the water
blood pressure.
retention's huge.
Right?
Huge.
There's a lot of different things that go along with high estrogen levels.
Huge.
And let's not forget, it fuels cancer, right?
100%.
That's why breast cancer patients, females or even males, right, at that point, they go on tamoxifen, they go on anastrozole, they go on letrozole, and exemestane. Now, for you guys out there that are on hormone replacement therapy, you know what this is because you're probably taking an anastrozole or an aromatase inhibitor.
Yep, if you're on testosterone, for sure.
So this was something that was developed for breast cancer patients originally. Tamoxifen was the first one because it was developed because they took out all the estrogen in the breast receptors, and that's where they were getting breast cancer patient problems, right? So that was the first one. Then they started looking at it like, this isn't strong enough for patients.
It's not actually lowering the estrogen levels.
That's right. That's correct. And that's where nastrozole came into play. And then that wasn't doing enough. That's where letrozole, which is a suicide aromatase inhibitor, came into play. And exemestane. And now they have things that you take along with an aromatase inhibitor to fuel that and pump that up. It's just really crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. So it's like, people, I don't think it's not very well known out there about this high estrogen issue, but it is a problem. And I believe it or not, and like when you really start digging into it, I would say I put money, right, that more than 50% of the population out there has a high estrogen issue. And it's because of the food that we're eating. I know that it sounds crazy, if you heat your food up with plastic in the microwave, right, that can actually cause high estrogen in your body as well, believe it or not. The bottled water, right? When that sits out on the truck and you're drinking that can cause high estrogen.
This is true.
The deodorants that they put together now, the detergents.
Endocrine disrupting chemicals.
Yeah.
They're in so many different products out there. And I still use deodorant, right? Because I don't want to stink.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So, but most of your big name deodorants have these things in them. Laundry detergents may have them in them. Other cleaning products may have some different things in there. And we don't even think about it. Lotions, we're putting it on there. We want our skin to be nice. We don't want to stink, okay? Yeah. But these are some of the different things. Like, I didn't even know, like, my nurse practitioner, Cass, he's the guy here. Basically, at that point, he told me, he's like, I knew about that a long time ago. He's like, I'm using like a charcoal type deodorant that's all natural. And I'm like, I don't know. But he said it works really well, right? So it is what it is. I mean, estrogen's a big, big thing, and these different hormones can affect other hormones in the body. It's like a domino effect. Once one really gets disrupted, it can also disrupt other ones in your body, and that's going to cause a whole bunch of different negative health benefits, or for you not to feel your best, or possibly feeling cancer and other different things out there. Yeah,
and I literally saw like every GYN from like Pasco County to Hillsborough County, and nobody. I think I went to Sarasota even. Yeah. I went to Sarasota as well. And I'm telling you, they would go in, they would do another laparoscopy. Yeah. Finally, the last guy that I went to, who was pretty good, he went in there and he started seeing, you have endo growing on your, because remember, endo doesn't just grow just on the female organs. It can grow anywhere, right? So they took out my appendix because there was endometriosis on my appendix. And, they asked if I wanted to do the whole, go through the bowel thing and make sure that there's no endometriosis on the bowel. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, I don't know about all that. I'm like, I'm just going to, the recovery was going to be like, instead of a week or two, the recovery would have been 4 to 6 weeks, which is like forever. Right. So, it can be an issue. Like an endometriosis is like a big thing now. Between that and PCOS, everybody and their mother has PCOS and endometriosis. Now, you really don't know until you go in there. The PCOS, that's a whole nother story, right? That's fueled usually by high testosterone levels. Right. And, you go in there, you get a transvaginal ultrasound done. They go in there and they see all these little tiny, cysts, and they're basically like popping, and that does not feel good. Yep. It doesn't feel good. And they usually treat that with progesterone. So this is what I'm saying is like, there's so many different things, and believe it or not, like you would think that the OBGYN, because that's like their specialty, that they would know how to treat these things and to prevent them from getting worse, right? Well, I mean, I was on my 5th laparoscopy. I mean, the scars look terrible because they keep going in, and nothing's stopping it. Right. So finally we opened tight, and I was like, oh, okay, well, you know what? At this point, I feel that bad. I don't care what I take. I'll be the guinea pig, right? We do the blood test, super high estrogen levels. I decided to go on anastrozole. I was already on some progesterone. So I go on the anastrozole. Let me tell you, when I tell you that the low dose estrogen blocker, like literally changed my life.
Absolutely.
When I say changed my life, like it changed my life, as far as how I felt every day, my mental clarity, my memory, being able to get up and just get motivated.
Help you lean out.
My sex life, because, when you have high estrogen, it kind of affects, your libido. I mean, I know for sure with guys, if they have high estrogen, they get ED issues. Yep. We all know this, right? So, it's an issue, and it should be addressed. I feel like not many people talk about it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not about knocking it all the way down to the dirt.
No.
Right? It's about balance, right?
Balance,
and optimization.
Sure.
Okay, so we've got a lot of good questions on here. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuning in right now.
Guys.
We're rocking and rolling. Instagram, Facebook. I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Please, if you guys like some of this content that we're bringing out, like the pages, share it, right? If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit the all notification bell, right, to get all that. Plus the tri-dots on social media, Facebook and Instagram at the top.
I want to see these.
So they're right up there.
Okay.
So what's going on? So Action Figure French, Matt Fit Jim, Robbie D'Angelo, Creator for Fun, RV Free, Manasuri, Nehari.
Thanks, Doretha. Thank you, Shane.
All right, what's going on? Devesh, Christian K. Holmes, Big Irishman, my dude. Mark Neal's in the house from Texas. Alex Souza, Joshua, Mohammed.
Half you guys are in my text messages.
Angie, Jan, Dan Palermo, Josh.
I see them all, by the way.
So,
all of them.
Here's one more question. Did leaning out from exercise help the endometriosis symptoms?
No.
So no.
I'm just being honest. It really didn't. It just didn't. Losing the weight and being a little bit healthier, I think what probably, if I had to pick something outside of exercising, because I mean, exercising is good for you regardless, right?
Right.
So the more weight that you hold, the worse it's going to be for you regardless, right?
Absolutely.
But the one thing that was a game changer for me is that when I met John, I don't want to hear, okay? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the shit, because I'm going to say it now, and I'm sure I'm going to hear the shit, okay? But yes, I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I woke up and drank a full Coke with ice while I smoked my cigarettes on the way to work. Yep. That was me.
None of this.
And I worked 2 jobs and I went to school, so like I didn't have time to do like meal prepping or like actually cook, because I'm like, cooking? What is that? And so McDonald's was on the way. Burger King was also on the way back home, and Wendy's. So all these really cool places that have all this fast food, right? It actually, like, eating all these fast foods and all these different things, it causes inflammation in your body.
It is.
And causing inflammation in the body, when you already have an abundance of inflammation in your body that's have you doubled over in pain, it doesn't make it any better. It makes it 10 times worse. So, I mean, if I could tell anybody outside, because to be honest with you guys, to be totally real, like when you're in pain and you don't feel good and you're tired and you feel like shit, you're not going to want to go and exercise. Right. You're just not. It's just, I'm telling you, it's just a fact, right? You don't feel good. You're not going to want to do anything. Last thing you want to do is exercise. So if the first place you would start would be with your diet. And anything that causes inflammation, like one of the biggest ones was Coke.
Right.
You know, that was a big one.
Right.
And gosh, Coke
Sugars,
is so good.
processed foods.
So good,
but,
though.
you know,
It's
of
just so
course,
good.
that stuff is addicting. It really is addicting. People always say, "Oh, it's addicting." Ha ha ha. It really is addicting.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. So,
It is.
you know, once your body starts getting a taste for that sugar, it's really hard to get away from it. That's why people, when they start eating some of these sugary things, they just continue on, right? So we got another question out here, and this is kind of off topic. Jameer, Mo, what's going on? Ravier, OP, Francis, Scupra. JD Ryan says, I hurt a tendon in my elbow last week. Will
Yes.
BPC 157 help heal my tendon?
Possibly.
We can't say guarantee,
I'm
but
not guaranteeing
yes,
that.
it's probably most likely going to definitely help with the tendon and with inflammation, okay?
Yeah.
And that's a big thing. And getting blood to that to the injured area to help heal faster, okay? All right, so Rachel's on. What's going on? Kim Fit-Ass Hayes, what's going on? WTF Mark, what's going on? How you guys doing out there? Victor, what's going on? All right, so Alleyway June said, I was born with 2 kidneys, but one didn't fully develop. So now I only have 1, and now I'm ready to get my butt in gear and take it seriously, but damn, I don't know where to start. All right, so listen, don't worry. Don't worry, because listen to this. All right, everybody is usually born with 2 kidneys, okay? And those 2 kidneys work synergistically together. All right, so when people go along in their life and then let's say they get kidney disease, both of the kidneys get affected at that point, not just one. So when somebody has kidney disease,
Thank God you got 2, right?
they both are down the tubes, and it really doesn't matter that you got 2. Okay,
Right.
Now that's when somebody can get a donation from somebody else and get another kidney, and then their body can work on just that one kidney. Okay, so you know if the one kidney that you have is good, then you're probably still in a good position, right? And the next thing you're going to have to do after that is possibly do blood work, you know, and see where everything's at first off.
Intervening for a second, I'm sure you're seeing nephrology.
Yeah.
Okay. We were obviously, just so you guys know out there, you know, kind of how we operate. You know, if there is something in your medical history, we like all the doctors to be on the same page.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if you have a cardiac issue, if you have a hypertensive issue, if you have hyperlipidemia, which is high cholesterol, or there's something that's off in your medical history, I don't think there's an issue with us helping you. However, we are going to want all the doctors on the same page. So we might need your nephrologist to communicate with our provider so that everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what's going to be best for you, and your health is always going to come number 1. Because, I mean, you can look cute, but you ain't going to look cute like if you're 10 feet under. And nobody's going to be able to see
or
your
can't
cute,
get out of bed.
cute face, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, and you're
Cute
definitely
body,
not
cute
cute
face.
in a hospital bed. Because I was in a hospital bed almost a year ago, 4th of July, and I was not cute.
Definitely cute all the way around. She's always been cute. All right, so have you heard of females having estrogen rebound from ending PED usage? Yes.
Yes.
So, all right, so this can definitely happen, right?
100%.
And depending on what PEDs we're talking about, it can happen a little bit more than less, right? Even if you were taking, let's say, a Nastrozole or whatever it is, there can be a possible rebound effect.
If you just stop taking it, especially.
If you stop taking it, you're not weaning down. If you're taking other performance-enhancing drugs, anabolics per se, you could possibly have these rebounds, and then this is going to throw everything else off.
It does too.
You
Your
know?
menstrual cycle. I mean, think about it. Sometimes you'll go, "Where's my menstrual cycle? Oh my God, am I pregnant?"
Right.
No, you're probably not pregnant. You're probably just throwing your menstrual cycle off by the hormones.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
Absolutely, and this could be a body going to the shock, or getting too lean, or getting too obese too as well.
Yep. Something too quick, too fast.
Yep, your body doesn't know what to do. It tries to start adapting. And let's say you just end PEDs, whatever they are, cold turkey, all right? Now your body's really in shock. It really doesn't know what to do. It starts scrambling and start trying to adapt and try to resetting everything in the body so it really kicks on. Some things really don't come back. You're probably going to get a lot of negative effects, maybe weight gain, water retention.
I always say this, guys. I always say it. I'm like,
depression.
just don't. I mean, like, I know it's inevitable for some of you guys to do it, and that people do things and they make mistakes, but it's like, you know, you only have one body, right? So sometimes you can make a mistake that, I mean, I think I brought this up in one of my episodes at some point, but you know, if a female takes too much testosterone, I actually just went through this face to face with a very good patient friend of ours that was just in the office right this second, and she's getting pellet therapy. I told you I'm not a fan of the pellet therapy. Okay, she's starting to get the hair underneath the chin here.
The hairy chin.
Okay, all right. And the
piggies.
The things that you
She's
cannot.
not,
but here's the thing. I mean, you can take that off, right? You can pluck it, you can wax it, whatever. You can laser it, but your clitoral enlargement and you're deepening the voice,
Hey,
I don't know.
you look pretty good over there.
You ain't gonna be able to reverse that. You know what I mean?
You don't want to sound like me.
I mean, I guess you could utilize it to some I don't know, maybe you could become a mic, what are they called?
You could be an MC.
You could be an MC, right?
You could start OnlyFans.
You could start an OnlyFans with very cool, different things that girls don't usually have.
Yeah. But you're probably not going to want
Don't
it, right?
do it. You know, it's just like...
If levels go too high, especially masculine hormones, we're talking about more masculine features coming across, even jaw lines and everything like that. Your face will start changing.
Yeah.
Things will start changing. And, you know...
it doesn't go back.
Yeah, there's no reversing a lot of these effects.
Go back.
You know, it's something that's permanent. You know, your body is changing, adapting. And this is the exact same thing as a transition, right? Think about a female that wants to transition into a male. They start taking a whole bunch of testosterone, right? And they start taking estrogen blockers to keep estrogen out. And at that point, they start changing. They start transitioning. It's the exact same thing with a female that, you know, goes on, let's say, pellet therapy, and her levels are shot up through the roof.
You have guy levels.
It's going to start changing some things.
Yeah.
So, you know, you want to make sure that you're getting balanced and optimized correctly. And the reason we really don't like to do pellets and don't do pellets is because those levels usually do shoot up, and once they're in your body, you're on that ride. You're gonna be on that roller coaster to the end.
Same thing happened with when I went on Depo. When I went on Depo Provera and I went on Lupron, they were both 3 month, like it was a 3 month ride.
Yep.
So it's like that Lupron, I'm telling you, that was probably the worst thing I've ever been through my whole life. You know, outside it just, I think I literally lost, like I lost my shit.
So Alleyway June says I don't have that doctor, so she probably doesn't have a nephrologist. Okay, so is there a doctor that's looking over your kidney functions just to make sure
primary care, internal medicine
your EGFR, you know, is correct and everything's functioning properly?
Right.
You probably have a primary care that might be looking after it. One way or another, that's okay. We just want to make what she's making. The point was she wants to make sure that your health is okay and good to go forth with whatever therapies that we want to provide.
For sure.
And that both medical providers are on the same page. That way we're giving you the best patient care possible, right? There's not conflicting things. Everybody's on the same page and want to work towards progressing and getting you the best results possible.
The right thing done, right?
Without hurting you or doing something that could be off and maybe this provider knows about.
For sure.
All right, so Olympia said, what dosage of anastrozole helped the most? What's the perfect range?
So there is no perfect range, okay? And now for guys, I do think there is a specific perfect range.
Sweet spots.
There's some sweet spots for people, you know, like, and every lab has a different interval range. It's usually around the same, you know?
Yep.
But for females, like some females might feel better at a little bit higher of an estrogen reading. Some females might feel better at a little bit lower of an estrogen reading. And I can't even give you a number specifically, like what that range looks like, because the ranges go by the different phases in your menstrual cycle, right? Like is it the luteal phase, you know, your ovulation phase, like which phase is it? So I can't really give you a number. However, I can tell you, like, so your manufactured tablet of anastrozole is a 1 milligram tablet, right? So a sweet number dosage that we've used very commonly with the females is 0.25, right? 0.25, it's a compounded one, and they usually take it a couple times a week. We start something because you want to start somewhere low, and you can always work your way up, right? You don't want to go here and then have to work your way back down and figure out how to fix all these issues you just created, right? So, I mean, there's sweet spots for everybody. It's not that kind of direct answer, if that makes sense.
Everybody can feel a little bit different. Everybody is different to a certain aspect.
Right.
And could need a different dose. You know, there's certain doses that work for masses of people, a majority, but like I said, everybody's different, and some things might work a little bit different with you than it would with her or somebody else.
Yep.
Right? So that was definitely some good stuff out there. So I think the biggest thing to take away from this is, you know, endometriosis is out there.
It's not fun.
More than ever, which could be estrogen fueled or mostly is estrogen fueled.
It mostly is estrogen fueled.
A lot of females are dealing with endometriosis and these different problems of hormone imbalance.
It really is that.
It really is.
It's so crazy.
Imbalance.
And, you know, sometimes it really sucks because it's like, sometimes you go to the doctor and you have this hormonal imbalance, and let's say I'm going to say a lot of the endometriosis girls out there, because you're complaining, you know, you're like, I'm in so much pain, everything hurts, and I don't feel good, I'm in a bad, but then they put you on an antidepressant. Now you get fat, you know, so it's like, okay, now you think making me fat is going to make me happy? No.
Or you're losing sex drive or other negative symptoms.
Exactly. It's just, it's a terrible, like, you know, circle of nonsense out there. You know, it really is. I wish I could tell you guys the whole story of everything I've ever been through, because it's a lot. You know, I've been through a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, John's been with me for 14 years worth of my, you know, medical stuff. You know, thankfully, you know, he's been very understanding and caring, because sometimes, you know, if you're not feeling good or you have a lot of bad cramps, like, obviously you're not going to want to, you know, get busy.
No sexual relations, no fun time, nothing.
Hey, listen, don't let him tell you that, because there's plenty of ways for you to please your husband, man, boyfriend, fiance. So get creative,
Girlfriend.
Okay? Or yeah, whatever.
Whatever it is.
Get creative, okay?
I gotta encompass everybody in this conversation.
Ay.
I love everybody. So.
I don't. I'm being honest. You know, I don't like everybody, but I like most people.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just Sharisse.
So listen, guys, if you females or males out there need help getting checked for your hormones,
For sure.
we do it nationwide. The only 2 states we don't service is Ohio and Idaho. I put that in every conversation. Sorry, guys. It's not you guys. It's your state. Basically, at that point, I'm just being honest. Your state legislation sucks.
Yeah, they suck.
So at that point, we want to help everybody out. Make sure we can take care of you guys. We have the most inexpensive blood testing in the country, especially for our full panels, which go in very in depth with all the different hormones and all the different things that make your body run the best it possibly can.
On that note, let me just bring this up, because if you get some blood work done, please do me a huge favor, guys, just to make things easy for everybody. Please do not go get your blood work when you're on your menstrual cycle. Just don't do that.
Yep.
When you're on your menstrual cycle, for those 7 days, 5 days, 11 days, however long your menstrual cycle lasts, 3 days, okay? However long that is the highest your estrogen's going to be.
Right.
We don't want to see it there, right? We don't want to get those readings when it's the highest. We want to see kind of where you're leveling off at the mid-month. Okay, that's like the best time to get some readings.
And I guess birth control comes into play too,
100%,
to a certain extent, right?
100%, because it does suppress some of the readings on there, such as your progesterone and such.
Big Drew, my man. So you put the number there for you guys to call or text. 727-389-3220. Thank him later, yes.
Yeah.
So if you guys need help in blood testing, hormone replacement therapy, medical weight loss, our vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, especially our signature ones, libido enhancers or bedroom enhancing, and you don't have to be needing it or have
you
erectile
guys
dysfunction or
out
sexual
there, oh my
dysfunction.
God, I'm so
girls
alpha.
And guys, because girls
I don't need that.
girls go along with sexual dysfunction at a high rate, and a lot of females can't achieve climax orgasm, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, you know, you guys want to have fun too, and you guys want to feel the best afterwards too. So we have something. We'll hook you guys up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll take care of both sides. You know, and like I said, blood work and a number of different therapies. Guys, we service nationwide except for Idaho and Ohio. So please call or text us at 727-389-3220, and we'd be happy to help you guys out. If you guys like this show and all our content, please share this. Tag people if you guys are on Instagram. Share if you're on Facebook, YouTube. Press the subscribe button. Hit the all notification bell. And we'll be with you guys every week with Sharisse's Healthy Lifestyle Soapbox.
Most of the time.
On Wednesdays.
If you're not smoking 2 packs of cigarettes.
So I appreciate you guys all tuning in, especially in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you guys for all the
Thanks,
support.
guys.
If you guys want to hear about any particular subjects,
Let me
specifically
know.
females,
Let me know.
let us know. DM us, shoot us a text, whatever it is, so we can put it on the list to cover for you guys in these future episodes. So I'm John.
I'm Sharisse.
And we'll see you guys next week with another Sharisse's Healthy Lifestyle Soapbox.
Thanks for all that.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.